You think of yourself as the top of the food chain. You are not. For almost the entire history of your species, you were the opposite. Soft, slow, and hunted. No claws, no fangs. Slower than nearly everything that wanted to eat you. By every rule of nature, your ancestors should have been a snack. Somehow they weren't, and the reason is still running inside you right now. Let's start with the truth nobody likes to picture. For millions of years, you were prey, not the hunter at the top of the story, the animal in the tall grass hoping to make it to morning. We tell ourselves a flattering version of the past, cavemen with spears bringing down mammoths. But that came late. For most of it, our ancestors were small, and the world was full of things that ate them. And these were not the predators you know today. The lions on your screen are a shadow of what our ancestors faced. Picture a cave lion, a third larger than the lions alive now. Picture a cave hyena that could crack a thigh bone like a dry twig, hunting in packs. Picture Dinofelis, a leopard-like cat that some scientists believe specialized in one particular prey, us. And in the caves of Africa, anthropologists have found the proof. There is a fossil, an early human child known as the Taung child, its skull discovered in South Africa. When researchers looked closely, they found puncture marks in the bone. The spacing matched the talons of a giant eagle. A bird carried off one of your ancestors and ate it, the same way an eagle takes a rabbit today. This was not a rare tragedy. In the bone caves where our early ancestors pile up, the marks tell one story again and again. Cracked open, chewed, eaten. For a long stretch of our history, being killed by an animal was simply a normal way to die. So how are you here? Look at what you were working with. You have no claws, your nails are useless, you have no fangs, your teeth are for chewing, not killing. You have no fur to protect you, no shell, no venom, no size. A grown man cannot outrun a hyena, cannot outclimb a leopard, cannot outmuscle a bear. On paper, a human alone in that world is one of the easiest large meals available. So the thing that saved you was never your body. It was everything your body learned to do. Start with the first one, fire. Fire is the reason any of this was possible. A predator's greatest weapon against you is the night. Their eyes work in the dark. Yours do not. After sunset, you were blind and they were not. And that is when most of the killing happened. Fire erased that advantage. A campfire pushes back the dark in a ring, and inside that ring, the eyes in the grass will not come. Every big cat, every hyena, carries a deep instinct to fear open flame. So for the first time, our ancestors had a wall made of light. They could sleep, they could gather. The night stopped belonging entirely to the things that hunted them. But fire only defends. What let humans push back was stranger, and it's hidden in your shoulder. Look at how a chimpanzee throws. It's clumsy, weak, barely aimed. Now look at how a human throws. No other animal on Earth can throw the way you can. Somewhere in our history, the human shoulder evolved into a kind of slingshot, storing energy in the tendons and releasing it in a whip. It turned an ape into the only animal that could hurt something from a distance. A predator that has to close the gap to kill you is a predator you can wound before it arrives. A human with a sharp rock in that shoulder became, for the first time, dangerous. Not strong, dangerous. And then there is the weapon nobody thinks of as a weapon, your sweat. You are one of the sweatiest animals alive, and you are nearly hairless, and for most of history, people were faintly embarrassed by both. They shouldn't be. Almost every other animal cools itself by panting, and a panting animal cannot pant and run flat out at the same time. You can. You shed heat while you move, through millions of sweat glands on bare skin, which means that under the noon sun, a human can do something almost nothing else can. Keep going. Our ancestors would pick a fast animal and simply follow it, at a walk and a jog, for hours, in the worst heat of the day, until the animal overheated and collapsed. It is called persistence hunting, and it is one of the strangest predators the planet has ever produced. Not fast, not strong, just patient and impossible to shake. But none of these, not the fire, not the arm, not the endless chase, was the real answer. Because the single thing that kept your ancestors alive was the one you're using right now, each other. A human alone in that world was a corpse waiting to happen. A human in a group of 30 was something no predator wanted to test. They watched in every direction at once. They shared what they knew. One person had seen a leopard hunt from that ridge, and now the whole group knew it, and their children knew it, long after that person was gone. No claw could do that. No amount of muscle could do that. Cooperation and memory were the fangs our species grew instead. We survived by becoming a single animal made of many minds, and here is the part that should unsettle you. The deadliest predator our ancestors ever faced was not the cave lion, or the giant hyena, or the eagle. It was the ones who lost. Because for every group that learned the ridge was dangerous, there was one that didn't, and it was erased. The humans who felt no fear walked into the dark, wandered from the fire, ignored the rustle in the grass, and they did not become your ancestors. They became a meal. You are descended without exception from the nervous ones. The ones who flinched, the ones who checked twice, the ones who felt watched and listened to that feeling. Which is why the feeling never left. That jolt when a branch snaps behind you. The reason you don't like your back to an open room. The instinct that makes you glance into the back seat of your car in the dark for no reason at all. That is not weakness, and it is not a malfunction. That is the single most successful survival tool your species ever evolved, still running, millions of years after the last cave lion died. Your fear is an inheritance. Every human who didn't have it was eaten before they could pass it on. For most of your history, you were prey, soft, slow, and surrounded by things built to kill you. You made it here anyway, not because you were strong, but because you made fire, learned to throw, refused to stop walking, held on to each other, and stayed afraid. The predators that hunted you are extinct now. Every single one of them is gone. And you are still here, jumping at shadows, kept alive by a fear you no longer need, for a world that no longer exists.